Thank you for that introduction. Thank you for some really great national and sort of international initiatives that you've presented during the meeting. I'm going to bring it a bit more locally to talk about how we're sort of tackling data sharing challenges within Adelaide Microscopy, a university-based core imaging facility. I'm always a bit envious when I have to follow someone present from a research environment like UQ, where it's really mature and they have, software supporting hardware around their data management. But I'll talk about how we tackle challenges in that less mature environment. So we are a university-based core imaging facility. We do provide access to about 40 advanced imaging platforms to our 700 plus annual users annually, and they come from all disciplines. I feel like foundingGIDE may have a bio and preclinical imaging focus, but we service users from engineering, we've got industry, we've got geology, and I'm sure many others. I've put up here just a typical data workflow within, or for most of our platforms within our facility. I sort of want to slow walk through how we're moving around that data so you can appreciate the challenges. We do have the user base with fingers, of course, on the microscopes generating their raw data. They'll access where we've got some workstations for processing data sets, further, processing, generating more data, really. And there's got Ethernet connections, 1 gigabit, 10 gigabit Ethernet connection with institutional storage, on which we have an Adelaide Microscopy provision. And also we have access to HPC capability. And then it feels like separate to all this, we have end user compute. We have this user base that may be internal, so they have their own, say, access to institutional storage. Versus the nature in our facility, they may not be able to access the Adelaide Microscopy provision. And then we've got some non-insignificant amount, I think it's about 4 or 5%, and I think we're on the low end for Microscopy Australia facilities, 4 or 5% of our user base that are external. So that does include external research. One way we're addressing that challenge is we're currently in the process of merging with the University of South Australia. So let's just bring the researchers internally, but that's not going to be a solution for all. So, as Nick just said, when you create friction, you create issues, right? When you create friction, you do what's easy, and this often gets encouraged by, say, even the staff within the facility. So the imaging platform scientists will encourage users to, say, use external storage. USB drives, external drives, it creates issues, for example, introduction of, say, malware, viruses, could be data loss with hardware loss, or traceability of our data sets. As a solution, the university does provide access for internal users to unlimited end user cloud. So they have unlimited box drive. I think it's then limits around the file sizes they can upload. Great for sharing, collaboration. There needs to be a culture change where we tell them to actually, link it with their supervisor, or access to that data with their supervisor, but not something readily adopted. It does create upload, download bottlenecks. It can create duplication of our data sets. So, we want to remove the threats. We want to do something that is easy. The university, we did have uplift in our research infrastructure, and we're still it feels like we're waiting on uplift around solutions for managing that research data. So the university does have a partnership with Intersect, and I'm going to invite my collaborator, Lyle Weir, from Intersect, so one of the event sponsors, and he's going to talk about how they're supporting the university, and then I'll bookend the talk talking about how we've addressed those challenges. So I'll give it to you, Lyle.
Thanks, Bryant. I just wanted to take the opportunity just to introduce Intersect and just give a brief overview of who we are and what we do, given there's a fair international cohort here, which is great, but many of you might be wondering who is Intersect and what do they do. So, excuse me. So we are a digital research services provider. We're a not-for-profit member-based organisation based in Sydney, but providing digital research services to universities around Australia. So our sort of model is, as I said, a membership-based model. We have 10 member universities who pay an annual membership, and what they receive for that is a digital research skills training program, a 15-day training program rolled out across the year from a catalogue of about 45 to 50 different courses, and also a full-time digital research analyst based at the university that facilitates the training program throughout the year and provides support to researchers and research staff like Bryant. So that's one side of our services. The other side is technology. We provide a range of technology products and services, compute, storage, HPC, data management as well. So University of Adelaide, as Brian mentioned, have been a member of Intersect for a number of years, and through that relationship and membership, we've engaged with Bryant and Adelaide Microscopy over a number of years, and recently he sort of reached out and hit the help button there and said, I've got two key challenges that if you could help me, that would be great. And they were around the sharing of data, as Bryant mentioned, and also the management of collections, specifically around permissions and user access. University IT departments, in Adelaide's case, provide the bulk storage and the network storage for the data to go onto, but the management of the collections and user permissioning has to be done through service desk ticket each time. It's there's no sort of tool that can be put into the hands of the likes of Bryant to sort of self-manage that. So that's where we'll talk about IDEA and Mediaflux now. So that's Intersect's research data management and data and storage management product. I'll just give a quick overview of that. So Intersect's data management service is called IDEA. That's our sort of branded service, but it's underpinned by Mediaflux. Mediaflux is the research data management platform or application. It's a full-blown end-to-end research data management platform. Can be described as a bit of a Pandora's box. It's highly functional, feature-rich, does a lot of things. But coming back to the sort of two key challenges that Bryant had, what we aim to do, at least for now, is sort of address some immediate challenges and just get some, maybe a bit more than quick wins, but sort of help do some simple things better. So Mediaflux has been deployed at the University of Adelaide. It sits, I guess, on top of or between the storage and the user, so it's like an orchestration layer on top of the university's bulk storage, and gives the sort of the functionality to help people like Bryant manage their data and share data. This is just an example of it's sort of an inbuilt workflow. So the way we deploy it's a customized deployment of Mediaflux, and sort of baked in is this type of process and workflow to help manage data. So describing the data, self-servicing collections, classifying data, and describing and applying some sort of project-related metadata to the data set. So that's just an overview, and I'll now hand it back to Bryant to talk about how we've actually used it.
All right, thanks for that, Lyle. Thanks for that overview. So this is, I feel like this is marketing, I'm co-presenting with the business. They describe it as seamless access to data or to user data, or that provision. But I tend to agree. We've used the term, friction. Where do we reduce it? As I said, the issue we had this infrastructure where there's like this bulk storage and challenges to, say, provision access to that data set to the end user, and regardless of their actual university affiliation. So it always feels, I don't know if I've been corrupted by IT, it feels dirty to say I'm bypassing our IT services. We can now, with the Mediaflux product, as shown here, just create download shares, say time constraints, password protection, and provide access to their user From the user perspective, they write data, it goes to a lettered drive, whether that's locally, whether it's then pushed, say, to a network drive. It looks no different at the point of data collection. They're invited to download, they receive a link. The link gives them access to this Mediaflux data mover app, and there they get access to say, I want to download the file down to the folder down to the file level. Success, is measured by the fact that, it's preliminary in what we're doing, but that my colleagues, the platform scientists, are actually using it. It feels like few strokes of a key or clicks of a button, and we're able to move that data rather than have them still introducing, say, USB or other means. The surprising sort of benefit to us was how it enabled us to provide opportunities for ongoing support. So I'm a data specialist at Adelaide Microscopy. One of it is providing, or supporting users with their data management, say file organization. A bulk of my job now feels like it's moved towards assisting with bioimage analysis. Historically, when that started up, you'd get those user inquiries to say, can you help me analyze this data? And it's an attachment on an email that provides size constraints. That means data is reduced. Often data is transformed and I lose all information, say spatial information or other metadata about the original data set. Just as easy as it is to create the download share, we create the upload share. It gets pointed to that provision on university storage, which I can point to with our data analysis workstations that have the environments built out to perform what analysis we need. It means relatively rapid turnaround of bioimage analysis workflows. This is an example here from about 2 weeks ago, where I had shared a micro CT image data set, or it's actually a sub-region of a data set, so it's only about 6 gigabytes. But then for the first time, rather than using the Brooker software we do traditionally, I could try out some AI segmentation workflows. This was, cell segmentation in soft foam, I believe, for an industry partner. So it's really had great benefit, and that was somewhat surprising. Of course, as I said, it's been preliminary. Found it easy to use. My colleagues are adopting it. I have a remit really to help uplift data management in the or at Adelaide Microscopy. My colleagues who help collect the data might not care necessarily so much. But we found Mediaflux easy to use, so they're doing so. And this is regardless of whether they are University of Adelaide members or other. As Lyle said, it's feature rich, and we've really scraping the surface to just address some of our challenges. But the capabilities, say, for data search or enriching the data sets with metadata will be explored. With that, just like to, of course, thank our ITDS services, technical staff with Intersect to help deploy that, Microscopy Australia for travel support to present today. I'll welcome your questions.